HTML5 and CSS tutorials for beginners. Styling elements. Let's take a look at our sample layout and the worksheet, so to speak. Let's refresh the page. Really, there is no styling attached to it. So let's go and explore styling. Let's first look at the header element. So let's style the header portion, right? And let's do something like this. Let's first give width and say 900 pixels. Let's give height 200 pixels. Let's add a background color. Click color. And say, and let's choose something like this. And let's say border as an example. As you can see, we can become more specific to select different parts of the border. But let's select the global declaration by saying 1 pixel solid and use this color. Let's select this. Save changes. Let's view, and that's our header. Now, since we have defined the width, we can do something like this. We can say margin 0 auto. Let's save changes. This basically says margin from top it should be 0, and the rest of the right, bottom and left should be automatically decided. But when we use this margin 0 auto coupled with width, look what happens. So that's a quick and easy way to center certain elements. While here, let's take a look at the UL elements. Here we can say, you know what, let's style the UL and let's make the width 500 pixels and let's give border radius, make that 7 pixels. Save changes, refresh. Oop, we didn't give background color to that. Let's do that so we can see. Let's make this color. And that's our UL element. Now let's do this though. Let's add padding to that. Let's say 1 rem, which then will be 16 pixels padding. And the padding is applied. Now let's go and say UL has list items, so now let's style them. First, let's do list style. Let's say, okay, let's select none. Let's refresh. Those bulleted elements are gone. Let's also say margin left should be 7 pixels. 7 pixels. Let's refresh and look. Now it has just moved. Let's also add padding top point, let's say 5 rem, and padding bottom 0.5 rem. Let's do that. Let's take a look at this now. The padding is applied. We can even see color. Let's make it grayish. What if we want to use link within a list item. Then we can become more specific by saying this. All the A's, A tag, which are links, found within list items, found within UL elements, should have color red. Save changes, and let's take a look at it. That's our link. While here, we also have our form. Let's do something like this. Form, select width, let's say 700 pixels, margin 0 auto, let's add border radius 7 pixels for that as well. Background color, let's copy the UL background color for that and paste that. Save changes. Let's refresh. Yeah, that's our form. But form has many different things within it. So therefore, we can say form input. All the input fields within the form should be width 200 pixels. Let's float them to the right, and let's give border radius to them as well, but let's select 0.3. Let's save changes and refresh. Makes sense? So this is how we meant to style things. But we also have form input submit type. Let's add padding all around, 1 rem, background color 3, border radius 7 pixels. Let's save changes. Type equals submit. And that's our button. But let's also copy paste this to speed up the process. And let's use a pseudo selector. Let's say hover. On hover of that button, the background color should change. Let's save changes. So, let's also style the links. We can say A, select all the styles, and let's give color blue. Actually, we'll sprinkle some links within these elements. We had one before within the list item, but let's sprinkle some around here. Let's save changes, refresh, and we've got link colors here. But we can also do this if we want. Say A, active, A, hover, A, focus. Cover them all in that order. When those elements occur, and when those interactions with the link is activated, it's hovered over, or if it's focused in, let's change the color at those moments. Save changes. Let's refresh the document, or let's set that green if we want. So instead of showing you how to style forums, how to style tables, how to style header or any other element, in terms of CSS, obviously first it's smart to do wireframes, work out exactly what colors you will use, perhaps it's your brand colors or your client's brand colors, and then say, okay, what am I going to have on that website? Are you going to have tables? Because you may or you may not. Are you going to include forms? You may not. But right now, if you were to sit back and consider all that I've shared with you, you can basically create any type of HTML5 document and style it anyhow you so please. All you need to do is just look at the elements that you're using and then explore the styling options available to you. And that's the best way to learn about CSS and CSS3. Remember, CSS3 is just an extension to CSS. That means you have different ways of styling things, giving you more perhaps control over certain elements and so on. And I'll talk with you in the next video session.